Welcome to They're All People. Every conversation is a chance to give 1% more than expected.
It was a Saturday morning in a busy home goods store, the kind where the speakers play soft music and the checkout scanners beep like a steady heartbeat in the background. I was helping a customer who kept drifting back to the same set of bedroom lamps, touching the base, stepping back, then circling the aisle like she was walking through an old memory. She finally stopped beside me, eyes on the floor more than the display, and said quietly, "I just need this room to feel different this time." That line hung in the air in a way that made even the music fade out. My instinct was to jump in and tell her about wattage, finishes, matching sets, all the usual stuff we train for. But the moment I opened my mouth, she took this tiny step back, like I'd missed what she was really saying. And the truth is, that happens all the time in sales. Customers tell you exactly what matters, but it's tucked into the last few words of a sentence most people rush right past. Standing there in that aisle with the smell of cardboard and new fabric all around us, I realized she didn't want lamps. She wanted a do-over, a reset, a feeling. And if I had lifted her words, "Feel different this time," she would have told me the story behind the room, the change she was trying to make, and what she actually needed from me. That's what this chapter is really about. The moment a customer stops shopping and starts trusting, and whether we're tuned in enough to catch the sentence that opens the door.
Yeah, Imani, I know exactly that kind of moment. I've lived it 100 times on showroom floors and sales calls where a customer finally lets a real truth slip out, and instead of catching it, I bulldozed right over it with features, benefits, guarantees, all the stuff I thought proved I knew what I was doing. I used to think talking fast and filling the space made me sound confident. But every time a customer pulled back, it wasn't because they didn't care, it was because they didn't think I was listening. Those last few soft words people say when they're testing the water, that's where the real story is. That's where the fear lives. That's where the decision gets made. And most of us miss it because we're already halfway into our pitch. When a client gives you that kind of truth, you get this tiny opening where everything can shift. Trust, direction, what they really need from you. Miss it, and the whole thing closes up like it never happened. That's why I'm fired up for today, because there's one small move that changes the whole conversation. So go ahead, Imani. Give us the headline. What's the move we keep skipping?
All right, let's get into it. The move sounds small, but when you use it with a client, the entire conversation shifts. Everything slows down just enough for the real truth to rise to the surface. Think back to that woman in the lamp aisle. She wasn't talking about lighting, she was talking about her life. When she said, "I just need this room to feel different this time," that was the door. And if I had lifted her words, "different this time," she would have kept going. She would have told me why she needed that reset, what she was walking away from, and what she hoped this next chapter in her home would feel like. That's the power of lifting someone's last words. They open up, they go deeper, they give you the real story instead of the safe one. And the surprising part is, they often solve the problem themselves just by talking it out. You're not pushing solutions or forcing direction. You're giving them space to name what they need and feel understood in the process. Clients walk away lighter because they finally said the thing they've been carrying, and you walk away with clarity because you're dealing with the truth, not the surface explanation. That's the headline for today. The fastest way to build trust with any client is to lift the words they just trusted you with. Not all of them, just the ones that matter. Say their last words, and you unlock their real world. And once that door opens, everything gets easier for both of you.
All right, let's dig in. I call it the mirror move. All you do is repeat back the last few important words someone just said. You don't improvise, you don't guess their mood, you just repeat a slice of what they gave you.
Yes, psychologists call it mirroring. You lift a client's keywords so they feel heard, not handled. Let's try it with a client situation. Jake, you be the frustrated customer.
I'm just tired of running in circles with this project.
Running in circles?
Exactly. It feels like every time I think we're moving forward, we're right back at the same sticking point. I'm starting to wonder if anyone actually sees what the real issue is.
And once the client goes deeper like that, you've got an opening most people never get. Let's keep going so you can hear the win. Jake, stay in character. You're still the client.
Yeah, running in circles, like nobody's actually fixing the root problem.
What do you feel is the root problem?
The communication. I never know what's happening until it's already become a bigger issue. I'm not even asking for miracles. I just want to feel like I'm not the last to know.
Right there, that's the gift. The client finally named the real pain point. Now watch what happens when I step into it. So I say, you want clearer communication before things pile up. You want to know what's happening early, not after it's already sideways.
Honestly, yes. That alone would make this whole thing feel under control for me.
Now here's the win for you, because they spelled out their fix. You're not guessing or defending. You just hand it back clean. All right, here's what I'll do. I'll give you a quick update every Friday, what's done, what's coming, and what needs your eyes. No surprises. You'll always know where things stand.
That would be amazing. Seriously. If we did that, I'd feel a whole lot better.
And notice something. I didn't work harder. I didn't talk more. I didn't push. I listened. I lifted the right words. The client solved the real problem out loud, and all I had to do was say it back and execute. That's how you get to a happy client. They walk away relieved because they finally said what they needed, and you walk away confident because you know exactly how to deliver it. That's the win on both sides.
Exactly, and here's how you start. The next time a client shares a worry, a hesitation, or a little frustration at the end of a sentence, listen for it. That's your moment. Take their last 2 or 3 words and lift them back. Don't explain. Don't rush to fix. Don't defend. Just lift the words that matter. That's it. Write yourself a tiny reminder. Mirror the words. And stick it on your steering wheel, your monitor, or the top of your clipboard. Make it a simple game. Every time you mirror a client's last words, give yourself a point. If the conversation suddenly gets clearer, if the client gives you more detail, if their tone softens, or they finally say what they really mean, you scored.
And here's how you know it's working. The client stops talking in circles and starts giving you the real story. They say things like, yeah, that's actually what I meant, or that's been bothering me for a while, or I didn't know how to bring this up. That's the win. The tension drops, the relationship gets stronger, and the path forward gets obvious. When you mirror a client well, something incredible happens. They start solving the real problem out loud. You don't have to guess what they want. You don't have to pitch harder. They hand you the blueprint, and they trust you more because they finally felt heard. Try it with every type of client. The anxious one, the picky one, the quiet one, the overwhelmed one.
Every time you mirror, you give them space to talk, and people love a conversation where they walk away clearer than when they walked in. And as you practice, jump into the community feed. Share the moment when you used a client's last words and everything opened up. Post the line you mirrored. Share when you almost jumped in with a fix, but caught yourself and mirrored instead. That's how we all get sharper together.
Every attempt counts. Every awkward early try helps. Be urgent about it. We want you at your best, because when you listen for a client's last words, you earn their real world in return. That's the move. Try it today, and watch what happens.
So try it and watch what happens.
You've been listening to They're All People. Don't wait for culture to change. Start it with your next conversation.